What do you do when you fail? So, the past 2 months were the best 2 months of my life. Like literally the best 2 months of my entire life. You know, the most confident that was the point I improved myself the most, right? I was the most confident, the most jacked, right? Very, very social, you know, very intelligent, you know, reading a book a week, you know, every single day, you know, working out or stretching or doing some boxing, you know, every day improving myself, meditating, journaling, you know, every day just improving. They were the best 2 months of my life, honestly. And a big part of that was because I was off of porn and, you know, masturbation, right? On no fap, if you call it that, right? But basically, I've made a complete video on this, which is called I Relapsed, right? But basically, the TLDR is I was off of, you know, porn, masturbation, all of that for 2 months. And then the past 2 days, I just went on a fapathon, basically. And I failed. I relapsed twice, right, in the past 2 days. And today's day one of, you know, restarting my streak. That's why I sound like a little loser now, right? I sound very weak now because I failed. And failure is painful. And I just feel terrible right now, I'm not gonna lie. And it sucks. But a huge lesson I learned this time is, and this is really how to deal with failure, is get over it. Get over it, man. Move past it. Like David Goggins always says, learn to not let life hijack your brain. You know, we will always have problems. We will always, you know, you'll always have like a breakup here, or you'll fail here, or you'll relapse here, maybe, or maybe you'll watch some video games here, or maybe you eat this junk food here, or maybe you relapse, you know, you watch porn, right? And it sucks, it's because it's painful, right? Failure is painful. But really, like, I realized most of my life, I would just, you know, keep telling myself, nah, man, why did I do that? And just go into this guilt, you know, spiral of guilt, which just leads nowhere. But now I'm just like, you know what, man, get over it. Get over it, man, move past it. And I'm training myself on that as I'm speaking to you, right? But yeah, just get over it and improve yourself. You know, self-improvement is the medicine for failure, you know? So what I did after those 2 relapses is I opened my journal. I wrote, what is the plan? You know, I always say when you're journaling, start with a question, right? So I thought, what is the plan? From today till 3 months from now. Because they always say it takes, you know, 3 months to quit any addiction, right? From today to 3 months now, I will not do any of that. No porn, no fapping, no video games, no junk food. I don't do any of that anyways, but specifically porn and masturbation, right? None of that. No relapses, no excuses. And I locked in, you know, like the framework, right? Which is identity, good habits, environment, and law of visualization, or visualizing your future, right? And those are the 4 pillars to quit PMO forever. You know, so, and this was yesterday, so all this happened yesterday. And I wrote all of it in a journal. And that was the plan. And that is still the plan. And then I hit a massive upper body workout. And then I stopped journaling, I finished journaling. I hit a workout. And it was a really good workout, by the way. You know, I let out all that energy. And today's day one. Today's day one. Got over it. Moved past it. You know, if this was me, you know, if this was my old self, right? If this was me a couple of months ago, I would say, no, man, I feel so guilty. Why did I have to do that, man? Why did I have to do that? But now I'm just like, you know what? Learn from it. Yeah, I failed. Right. I'm a human. I failed. What did I do wrong? How can I learn from it? And get over it. Try again. You know, failure is your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. That's what David Goggins says. Really, that's it. Like, I know this advice is so basic, right? And now, like, you hear me speaking, I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a good mood at all because I'm such a perfectionist on this, and I hate to fail, but failure is part of winning, right? Failure is part of success. So I'm not in a good mood. I don't feel good at all, honestly. But today I have another workout and I'm gonna smash it. You know, I just got over it, and I'm training myself on that. Training myself on just get over it, man. You will fail on this path. Like, if you don't fail, honestly, if you don't fail, that means you're not setting your goals high enough. If your goals are high enough, if you have high enough goals, then you will fail. Failure is inevitable. And yeah, I know it sucks, man. I know it feels terrible, bro. Like, it sucks, man. I'm in such a terrible mood right now because I relapsed. But hey, failure is a part of winning. And we need to, like, especially, I'm saying this to myself, not even to you. I'm saying this to myself. Like, I need to get out of this loser mindset of, oh, why did I have to do that, man? Why did I have to do that? And all this guilt tripping and all this shame. Bro, what did you do wrong? Get over it and try again. Get over it, try again. Learn from it, try again. Learn from it, try again. Learn from it, try again. Oh, but I'm in a flat line, you know, and I feel all these withdrawal symptoms after a couple of days. Bro, go on autopilot, man. Do the work. Even if you just hate doing it, do it. Do it, man. That's the path to getting everything you want. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Like, go on autopilot, man. Automatic. The thing is, you know, the more I relapse and the more I get into these, you know, the more I fail, basically, the more I just realize how terrible that life I had in the past was. The more obsessed I get with self-improvement, if that makes sense, right? You know, it sucks, man, relapsing. But really, that's the way to deal with failure. How do you deal with failure? Learn from it and get over it and try again. That's it. Get over it. You know, honestly, the best way to get over failure, really, is to journal. Is journaling. You know, in my opinion. Ask a question, you know, what did I do wrong? What is the plan? How can I get over this? You know, what is the positive side of this? What is the positive side of this? As much as that is such a hard question, but what is the positive side from this? Okay, I learned from this. Okay, this was a hard time for me, so I became a stronger man. I will become a stronger man for my future wife and my kids, right? I'll be able to protect them. You know, even though it's painful, like, don't think because you did a bad habit and now you feel terrible that that's not a hard time. It is, and it will make you a better person. It'll make you a better man. You know, just because it's a relapse on a bad habit doesn't mean it will make you a better person if you learn from it, of course. And really, that's the way to just get over any addiction in the world, is to just, when you fail, okay, why did I fail? Why did I fail? You know, I'm not gonna lie. The reason I relapsed, I think, personally, is because I felt very lonely. And I was using it to cope. And that's why I feel like a loser right now. Honestly, I just feel like a little soy boy loser right now. It just sucks. But how can I get over it? How can I stop feeling lonely? Okay, I'll lock in on self-improvement, because I know when I improve myself, I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm actually worthy of the best woman, or my future wife, or my dream woman, right? I'm actually worthy of her because I'm actually becoming the man that she wants. And that's the truth of it. You know, all this porn and fapping, all this, it gives you nothing, man. It gives you nothing. And it gives you every negative. It takes away all of your energy. It takes away all of your manhood, right? Your sexual energy is so powerful. It's what creates everything. You know, the thing with porn and fapping is what it does is, especially when you're going after like a long period of time where you were absent, you didn't do any of these habits, is when you do it, and when you do any of these pleasurable, stimulating activities, your dopamine, basically your feel-good hormone, the hormone is responsible for so many things, but the hormone that makes you feel good, makes you happy, makes you motivated, gives you hope for the future, right? Dopamine, which is such an important hormone in your brain, basically it's at baseline. And when you do any of these, pleasurable, stimulating bad habits like porn and junk food, it spikes up very, very high, like way higher than baseline, right? Way higher than your typical dopamine. And then what happens is it hits a very high point and then it crashes down. And this is why after we relapse, we feel like you hate everything, you're angry, you're irritated, you're depressed even, you have bad sleep, nothing makes you feel good, you don't have any hope for the future. It's because the dopamine is going down. This is what I'm feeling right now, actually, as I'm speaking to you, because my dopamine was so high, and then it plummeted down. And this is actually why I relapsed twice. Because what happens is you have this very high spike when you relapse the first time, especially after coming off, a very long time of not doing the bad habit, and then it goes crashing down. So your brain has such a high desire for that hit again, so you relapse again. But the thing is, when you're down here and then you relapse again, you go a little bit higher, and then you go even lower than when you relapse the first time. So I just feel terrible right now, but this is all temporary. This will all go away, of course. But yeah, that's really like the science of it. But the way to stop this, going up and down, up and down, up and down, the way to stop it is just through fasting. It's just through going for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months off of that bad habit, off of that addiction, off of that whatever, not doing that at all. You will feel very bad in the beginning. In the first probably 14 days, in the first 10 to 14 days, you will feel very, very bad. Like your sleep will suck. You will hate everything. You'll hate everyone. You'll be irritated. You'll be angry. You'll be depressed. That's very, very normal, right? That's very, very expected. Your sleep will be messed up. Everything, because your dopamine is way lower than baseline, right? You don't have hope for the future. That's what you will feel. That's what I feel, right? But if you keep going through, eventually your dopamine will return to baseline after 14 days, and you'll be even better than when you were before you were doing your substance or your addiction, right? And I'm gonna finish it with this quote by Jocko Willink: "Other than death, all failure is psychological." Other than death, that's what Jocko Willink said. So other than dying, all failure is just in your head. It's just psychological. It's in your head. It doesn't exist. Other than death, there's no such thing as failure. It doesn't exist. It's just attempts. It's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. It's just learning experience. You're just learning. It's just life demanding growth of you, right? I'm gonna go smash a leg day. I hope I feel better. And as always, we're in this together. I hope we will make it.